Okay, so it's now Sunday and I'm testing at the Nurburgring F circuit, which is the full Grand Prix circuit. It's the same car for tonight's race that it was on yesterday's video, which was Daytona International Raceway. This one's a much shorter circuit and the speeds aren't quite as high, so that involves lowering the gear ratios so that I can reach the top end of the car in 6th gear. And obviously cambering up the tyres a little bit more because it's more twisty, and stiffening the suspension and the anti-roll bars just to make it bed into the corners. It's a very technical circuit, this one, and sometimes it's frustrating because it feels like you're going dead slow when you're actually going dead fast. Where those cones are there, that's where the GP D circuit goes, which is another favourite in the Gran Turismo leagues. Now going down the hill here to the bottom hairpin is incredibly bumpy, and the wheel wants to break away left and right all the time, so you've really got to hold on to it. So it's difficult there, because if you don't, it'll kick you off, and of course with a full force feedback wheel that will happen. I'll just show you the wheel, just so you know what kit we're using. It's a full force feedback driving force GT wheel. You can alter menus and settings as you go along as you're racing, so it gives you the real feeling for what it will be like really in these professional racing cars. So I'll plonk it back on screen because we're going to go through a lap in a second. I'll get back on board once we go up the top hairpin, which is here, I think. Yeah, it's the next corner. It's going to be a 15 lap race, 2 of them at this circuit this evening from 9 PM. Mandatory pit stop, and it should be good. Should be good fun. Full damage on, of course. So on board in car now. So this is the last corner at the Nurburgring. So we're going down the main straight. Important to get the power down as early as possible, making sure the back sticks so that you get good straight line speed. Now the first corner is a blind right hand hairpin, and it's off camber downhill. You've got to start braking before you hit the downhill section because it's incredibly bumpy on the way in, and you've got to get the speed down so that you can clip the apex on the right, because if the speed's not down the car will break away at the back. You've got to keep as far to the right as possible on entry here, and then be very gentle with the gas pedal as you're going around in 3rd gear. This is using trail braking here for the left right. These are dead sharp and dead frustrating. You can only really take them in 2nd gear, to be fair. Now accelerating down towards the back end of the circuit. The cones I was on about earlier are there to the right where the circuit's blocked off. Now that's the D circuit and we're on the F circuit. Now this left-right section is on camber, so there's quite a lot of grip provided you stick to the inside of the circuit. Now this is the bit I was talking about with the feedback from the wheel. Down this hill, all the car wants to do is brake away left and right. It's very, very bumpy. It doesn't look it, but it is, which makes the braking point difficult, and as soon as you hit the brakes it wants to snap away into the sand on the left. Dropping it down here for the hairpin at the bottom. Now this is a big steep hill. This is where you need power to get you up the hill, and that's why I dropped it to 2nd gear, to give me maximum acceleration and speed up the hill. This is deceptive because the left-right section here can almost be taken at full pelt. You've just got to have a little back off on the way in. This is a blind entry to a left-hand sort of 3rd gear corner, and then a little squirt on the gas, and then back off again, drop down a gear, and just let it roll around this corner onto another back straight. And again, it's downhill, so picking up pace is not a problem. But of course, you've got an uphill section, which is why it can be tricky, particularly now for the last chicane. Brake really heavily down to 2nd gear. You've got to clip the apex on the left, and then you've got to clip it on the right. But you can see how big the curbs were as well there, and the danger is that it spins the car around, which is a bugger if that happens, particularly in race, because we were actually at this race circuit on Thursday, not in these cars, and I hit one of those curbs and nearly lost the back. So that's a full lap then of the Nurburgring, and I'm looking forward to getting on track there with the boys at 9 tonight. Thanks for watching.